Okay, this is first little quick video on earned valued management. Okay, so earned valued management is a tool or technique that's used when you are trying to monitor or control your costs. Why? And it's kind of cool, and I'll tell you why it's kind of cool. It's cool because it doesn't just take into account how much money you have spent of your budget, but it also takes into account how much work has been done and how much value has already been created in your project. And when you bring in the value or how much has been created in your project, you're actually bringing in your schedule, because your schedule has laid out how much time it takes to get certain things produced. And those things that get produced have value. So earned valued management brings both the schedule management and cost management together, which is just brilliant because it means you're looking at more of a complete picture of how your project is actually doing than just looking at a budget figure. So it doesn't mean that the budget figures on their own aren't helpful. They can be very helpful. But earned value management brings much more of a complete picture. And let me demonstrate this. So you're a project sponsor, and the project managers come, and he's given you, or she's given you, a report, okay, a budget report. And in that budget report, let's say it's for the month of March, okay, and it will have in it, you're going to have your various cost elements, okay, or your control accounts, which might be, labor, materials, okay, rent, admin, and let's put in travel, okay? And then you'll have a total. And there will be some numbers in here that are in your budget of what you expected to spend in March. Then there'll be another, so this is what your budget says you should spend. And there'll be another, which will be your actuals, right? And your actual numbers of what you actually spent in March. And then there'll be another, and it will be the variance. Okay, so this is the variance between your budget and your actual. So it may be a positive number or a negative number, depending on how much you spent compared to budget. Then there's probably these three, so this is for 1 month. If your project's multi-month, you probably have another 3 here that is project to date. And you have your budget, and you have your actuals and your variance, and this would take everything up to your project to date, what you should have spent, and this would be your total budget, let's say, okay? And you would have numbers in here, and that's all helpful. That gives you a good sense of how much you're spending and your variance this month and your variance for the project to date, and it tells you, how close you're getting to your total budget. And that's great. But it doesn't tell you how much work you've completed. Okay? So then usually you'd have a Gantt chart that you would also, show your project sponsor, and you might be, you know, ahead on some and behind on others, and they go, okay, so I kind of get you're ahead on some and behind on others. That's good. And I kind of get you're kind of on budget. And that's helpful, but my mind can't put them together really well. This is what earned value management does, okay? So what earned value management does is it puts these two things together and gives you a fantastic picture of where you're at and what needs to happen between now and the end of the project to either get back on track or how far you're going to end up over schedule or under schedule or over budget or under budget at the end. Okay? Okay. Now, let me show you how this kind of works. Okay. So, I've got our project. This is time. Here. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to change this because I'm going to run into some problems here. I'm going to do it up here like that. So we've got time here. Okay. This is the start of the project here. This is the end. And we've got dollars. This is, we spent $0, and this is our budget here at the end, okay? This happens to be 100,000, okay? And we've planned out how this spend's gonna go, okay? Based on our budget and our work plan. So that's our plan. So at the end, our total spend will have been 100,000 real, and we're going to call this budget at completion, okay? Budget at completion. But the reality is that no project goes exactly as planned. So, let's say we're 60% of the way through our project, okay? So, we're 60% of the way through. You would have expected us to have spent 50,000 real at 60% through, okay? Based on our plan. When we actually do our budget or look at our budget numbers and our actuals, we can see that our spend actually went like this. And this is where we are right now. So if we go over here, we've actually spent, we're going to say we've spent 60,000 here. Okay? That's what our spend is. And when we talk to our team and we get an understanding of how much work we've actually completed, they say actually what we've completed is actually up here. It's actually 75%, okay? Sorry, these aren't looking particularly relatively great, but that's okay. You'll get the concept.